What's up, everybody? Demon back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing the first real Godzilla anime news and updates. I cannot wait. I am so excited for this. Godzilla anime. First bit of news right before the intro. The official name for the anime is Godzilla Monster Planet. Let's get into this, shall we? Godzilla Monster Planet is the upcoming 2017 anime starring all these people whose names I cannot pronounce. From what I've heard, they are really good voice actors, so I'm really excited. I have high hopes for them. Hopefully they don't disappoint me, and hopefully they don't disappoint any of you guys. Uh, and, you know, considering the fact that we're probably going to get this subtitled and not dubbed, at least for a long time, we better get used to them. And I really do think, based off what I've heard from, you know, people I trust, I really do think that these guys are going to be good. And, you know, they're voice actors, so they kind of need to be. Now, I've actually missed a lot of news regarding this anime, so I'm just going to kind of break this down piece by piece. We're going to take it through in the order of concept arts that we've gotten so far, and I will give my thoughts on them as we go. So, first off, we have that initial reveal shot from way back when of the three soldiers who have landed on Earth and then their spaceship to the side. Now we have a whole bunch of soldiers walking through this really overgrown forest, really crazy looking vegetation. They have, you guys can see they have two different types of ground ships with them. They have that one that seems to have four legs, and then they have that one in the background that seems to be more like Avatar with two legs, kind of like, you know, you've seen those kind of things in sci-fi before. So this is pretty cool, just them exploring Earth upon their return. Close-up shot of two soldiers walking around this really overgrown forest. I'm actually hoping that the art in the movie is better than this, because this art isn't great. Like, it's not great. It is concept art, and then the actual reveal pictures we have of our characters, they are a lot better, so I do have high hopes. Here we have inside one of the spaceships, it's like a control center, it looks like, and then we have what looks like four different pods, maybe escape pods, maybe just things that'll take people down to Earth that are in these docks here. Here we have a large spaceship. This is actually a really cool one. So it looks like a cargo bay or like a hangar where they're going to be landing spaceships, loading them up, heading them out to Earth. This looks like a really nice area. Same with this, just a big interior shot of the spaceship. Actually, most of the shots we have are inside the spaceship. Here's kind of our standard Godzilla boardroom. What are we going to do about this? And the only difference is, as you guys can see, it is in space. If you look out the window, you can actually see Earth down below in the background here. So, really cool. Here's our first picture, really, of Earth's landscape. Kind of a very mountainous terrain. Looks nice. Now let's get into the plot for the movie. So, this is the story of Godzilla Monster Planet. Like I said, that's the official title. The theatrical release, as we'll talk about here, coming up soon again, is going to be in November of 2017. Godzilla, this is basically just talking about how Godzilla's been around since the 1950s. He's loved by all. Shin Godzilla was received really well, so now they're going to take Godzilla to a place he's never been before, the very far future. They say Earth, this is after Godzilla has ruled Earth for 20,000 years and humans have been gone. So totally different concept. We'll get into the plot here in a second. If you guys think, this sounds a little familiar, that's because we predicted it on the channel before. If you go back and listen to any of the other Godzilla anime videos I've done so far, you will have heard me talk about how I thought that Godzilla was going to show up, cause so much destruction, humans had to uproot, leave Earth in a spaceship, thousands of years, come back down to Earth for the first time and start exploring it, and Godzilla is just the king of the Earth, and now they have to deal with that. Although the only difference is I said that I didn't think they were going to know about Godzilla. As we'll talk about here with the plot coming up soon, they do know of Godzilla. They have a knowledge of him. One of them, as we'll talk about, Haru, his parents were killed by Godzilla, so he has a hatred for him. Also, if you guys look to the side here, this is the actual poster for the anime. You see many spaceships coming down, landing on Earth, all these different robots alongside, and then Haru, our main character, right in the middle. Haru probably being a reference to the name Haru Nakajima. I know that's a common name in Japan, but I don't know. I would hope that it'd be a reference to Haru Nakajima because I think it's always cool when they do those kind of things, when they name characters after previous people who have been either connected to the franchise behind the scenes or in the franchise, as with Goro Maki in Shin Godzilla. Now, moving on to the plot. So I'm only going to highlight a few details here, and if you're wondering where I'm getting this information from, first of all, links to every source down below, but for the most part, all this information generally comes from GodzillaAnime.com. This is the official GodzillaAnime.com, so all this information is 100% official. So here is the most important parts of it that I highlighted here. The last summer of the 20th century, that day, the human begin to learn that they are not the only rulers of the planet. The appearance of giant living creatures, kaijus. Obviously they're going to use that term. It's a Japanese term, but it's awesome to hear. And the ultimate existence that destroys all monsters. So that's my favorite thing because it's a great reference to the movie Destroy All Monsters. The ultimate existence that destroys all monsters, Godzilla. Humans have been experiencing continuous defeat. They finally plan to escape Earth, and then they head out. And also, I didn't highlight this, but it looks like it's in the year 2048 when they leave. Now, a long time later, they're going to come back down to Earth. And 2048 is actually really close, so that doesn't make much sense to me. It's only 2017 right now, so that's not that far in the future. I don't know what the deal with that is. 2048, only those who were selected by... Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Maybe that's... Yeah, that sounds like it's the year they uproot and leave Earth. They finally arrive to their destination 20 years later to find out that it's not habitable, so Haru, who saw his parents killed by Godzilla in front of his eyes when he was 4 years old, has one thing in his mind. For 20 years, return to Earth, defeat Godzilla. Once again, this seems like, we're getting a lot of futuristic technology here for it to not be very far in the future here. So I guess by the time they arrive to the planet, it's going to be 2068? Because they've been gone 20 years, and then when they get back to Earth, presumably it'll be, 2088? I don't know. Maybe that's how it's going to go, just a 20-year gap in between every time. That might make sense. Now we have Earth's resistance, led by Haru, became the majority, and determines to head back to Earth. Okay, so what this is saying is Haru, he's basically going to get everyone on the ship, the majority of the people on the ship, to be like, yeah, let's go back to Earth. And then they're going to try and fight Godzilla, kill him, and win. So it says, however, when they return to Earth, already the time has passed 20,000 years. Okay, so I have no idea what's going on with the timeline of this movie. We're going to have to wait to see it, because if it takes them 20 years, if they leave Earth in 2048, first of all, they have really futuristic technology to be leaving in 2048. Second of all, if they get to their destination in 20 years, how come by the time they come back to Earth, it's 20,000 years later? I don't understand the timeline of this movie. This is all translated from Japanese, so maybe the translation's a little bit off here, and that's the problem, but for the most part, I guess the general gist of it is, takes place in the future, Godzilla shows up, a whole bunch of other monsters show up, humans have to leave Earth. It's almost like Skull Island, where it's like, we don't belong here. The humans, and it's like Godzilla, it's like, we're not kings or whatever, man is king, but, then Sam Jackson dies. So, I think kind of what we can expect here is, takes place in the future, Godzilla shows up, humans have to leave Earth, long time in the future, they come back, and now they're here to fight Godzilla and hopefully kill him and win. I actually don't think he'll die, though. Now, here's a little bit of information within the special event, Anime Japan 2017. This is the announcement that the Godzilla Monster Planet series is going to be a trilogy, saying that the existence of chapters 2 and 3 are obvious upon watching this movie. For now, accept the animation Godzilla Monster Planet, aka just saying this is the first movie in a trilogy. Really good news. I'm assuming that the trilogy is not going to be released one after another. It'll probably be like a couple years in between, or at least a year in between. I don't think that we'll get the full trilogy within 2017-2018 time gap. Here we have all our main characters. We have Haru, that's the main character here. We have the really tall one named Mathis. I'm definitely going to pronounce that name wrong because I don't know what it says. Now we have this girl named Yoko. Now we have Martin, Adam. Also, those guys look like they're Americans, but they're voiced by Japanese actors, so maybe it's just that the characters look American, or I don't know. They have English names. Haru's not an English name. Martin and Adam are both English names, so I don't quite know. Maybe they're supposed to be Americans. We also got an international thing with Shin Godzilla and 2014, so that I wouldn't be surprised. And then our other main character is Mulu. Geez, I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm gonna have to wait for the anime to find that out, because up until then I'm just gonna be saying all the names wrong other than Haru and Martin and Adam. Those are the only ones that I know I can pronounce. Yoko, I feel like that's how you say it, but I don't know. Here we go, the information that you guys have all been waiting for. Finally, the theatrical release is set for November 2017. It'll stream on Netflix shortly after that. You guys can add it to your Netflix queue already. I certainly did. That's what the screenshot on screen is I added it to my queue already. Netflix Original Godzilla. That's awesome. You know, Netflix tried with Kong and they definitely failed. So let's hope that this Godzilla anime is good, because Kong, King of the Apes is not. Now we have the fact that Netflix acquired the rights. They're going to be streaming globally late 2017. That's great news. There was a big event held today and yesterday in Japan, which was all for the Godzilla anime. Well, it wasn't all for the Godzilla anime, but there was a Godzilla anime booth there. That's where a lot of this information was announced. You guys can see that they actually have a full, it looks like it's to scale, full to scale, maybe not. It might be a little bit smaller. The point is, they have a full recreation of one of the robots that's going to go down to this futuristic Earth and going to be helping take back Earth from Godzilla. There it is. It looks really sweet. And the fact that they actually made this thing is really cool. I mean, you know, Shin Godzilla, they also did a lot of stuff with footprints. They made full-size footprints. They made giant feet. They did a lot of cool stuff leading up to Shin Godzilla's release. So it's pretty cool to see this coming out too. And then we'll continue to follow the marketing as it comes out, just like we did with Shin Godzilla and Kong Skull Island. Here's a little bit of not news. It's hard to say because it is claimed to just be a really good quote-unquote fan art. Now, this was released, and when it was released, everyone was reporting on it as Godzilla's reveal for the upcoming anime, and now we have the title being Godzilla Monster Planet. So everyone said that this was going to be official, and then they kind of put out the statement officially, like, I don't know if it was the company Polygon Pictures, who it was, put out the statement saying, no, it's not official, it's just really good fan art. So, here's the thing, is I kind of side with Otakusatsu on this one, is it may have been official, and now they're just trying to cover it up because it wasn't supposed to be put out. Here's the little bit of evidence we have to support that. First of all, obviously, they have one of those spaceships there. It looks, honestly, now looking at it again, it looks a little bit like the spaceship from Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from the Heisei series, but you have a whole bunch of people down here at the bottom, and the spaceship also we've seen in that other concept art already. You have all these people at the bottom, they're all dressed like Haru. They all have that same kind of outfit on that he has on, and we also saw those outfits in the reveal shot from way back when as well. So that part of it holds up as real. That part of it, at the very least, we know we're going to see people in those suits and that spaceship in the movie. As for Godzilla, though, he is really freaking massive. If you guys see, there's mountains in the background that he's bigger than. Godzilla has never been that big before. The biggest Godzilla we have today is Shin Gojira. He is only 118 meters, 118.5 meters, aka 389 feet. Now, if we have a Godzilla bigger than mountains, mountains are typically like 1,400 feet. This Godzilla is incredibly large, and you guys can see he has some sort of blue pulse in his heart. Now, although this isn't confirmed, so take everything we say here with a grain of salt, as in, this isn't a official concept art that we know of, but if it was, here's what we know. Is it definitely makes sense that Godzilla was able to destroy all monsters, first of all, and take over Earth to the point where humans had to leave. If you see the size of that thing, if you see something that large coming down on you, there is nothing on Earth in the future, it doesn't seem like any technology they have will be able to take him down. And it is really cool because we've seen other Godzillas, like 2014's hit by a nuke, and he kind of goes into hibernation after that one. He has to sleep that one off. He's also shot in the gills by tanks, which irritates him and hurts him. The Mutos really hurt him. Shin Godzilla, when they shoot his back, that big open space on his back that's there to vent his blood, it forces him to bleed and it hurts him terribly bad. So we know that all the Godzillas we have to date, they can be harmed by human inventions. Even like the most overpowered Godzilla, like the Heisei Godzilla, I guess we'll say Burning Godzilla, even he was hurt by human inventions. They shot all that freezing stuff at him. I forgot what it's called. I have to watch those movies again. They shot all that freezing stuff at him, and he seemed to take some sort of pain from it. He was also dying anyways. We know that Godzillas can die. We know that they can be hurt from human stuff, like human inventions. You see a Godzilla this size, nothing will hurt him. Like, he is not going to notice anything. A Godzilla bigger than mountains is just going to move. He is not going to notice. And it makes sense that people would have to leave Earth if that thing was showed up. Now, the only thing that I have a problem with here of this being real is, how did people not realize that this massive of a creature existed before the end of the 20th century or whatever? How did no one notice that up until that point that they had to leave Earth? Because you'd think a creature this big, you're bound to pick it up on radar. You're going to pick it up in so many different ways. You cannot avoid a creature that big. So maybe the only way I could ever, if this is how it's going to be in the movie, the only way we can justify this is if Godzilla started out in his normal like 100 to 300 foot range, and then they leave Earth. When they come back down, he's just grown so much, he's this big. That way we could justify it, and that way it's like, oh shoot, now even with all this future technology that would have definitely killed the 300-foot Godzilla, we can't kill this however many 1,000-foot Godzilla. And also would justify the need for an anime. First of all, the future aspect justifies the need for an anime because you can't do that with practical. Second of all, if you have a Godzilla that big, you could never, ever, ever even get close to doing that with practical effects. So, it justifies the need for an anime, and that for those reasons, I personally believe that this may have been leaked and then covered up by Toho and Polygon Pictures, being like, no, it's just really good fan art. Don't worry about it. Don't pay any attention to that over there, of which has been leaked from our studio. I think it might be something like that. Although, who knows? It could just be fake. We'll just have to wait and see for the actual reveal of Godzilla, probably in the anime itself. I don't think we're going to get any real pictures of him leading up to it, other than maybe like one or two, and those just might be like a face, like a close-up of the face or something. I don't think we're going to get too much Godzilla leading up to this. So that does it for the concept art. A last bit of information. We have our writer. Now, I'm not going to pronounce this writer's name. It's written on screen right there. You guys can read it. So this is why I want to talk about this, is that he is, from this article that I read, he is infamous for creating dark, tragic stories and plots, and yes, plot twists, and that is just really good, because that is what we need. A really dark, and then also I've heard that he has, typically the deaths in the animes that he writes are very gruesome, and I think that if we're going to go with like a Godzilla anime, and you're going to make it like dark and really tragic or whatever, that is awesome. I love this idea so much. So, this writer, I don't know anything about the directors. I don't know anything about the voice actors. This is all I know about the writer, but I'm on board. I cannot wait. This sounds really, really awesome. I am just so excited for this Godzilla anime. Speaking of anime, quick shout out to D180223. I've worked with him in the past. Crazy name. I've worked with him in the past. You guys go subscribe to him. He helped me out a lot with this news update. He sent me the articles on the writer of the movie. He also sent me some other articles that really helped put this video together. So I really have to give him credit for a lot of the help I've got for making this video. Please go subscribe to him. His channel is great. And, you know, he has a lot of anime stuff. So if you want to go check out a whole bunch of videos to get your anime fill, go check out his channel. That is pretty much what he specializes in. He also has his great series, like his Mecha Explain Talk, his Mecha Talk. They are great videos, very well put together. He does a lot of research into those videos. His channel is really good. It's very professional. Go check him out. Show him some love and support. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time. D-Man, out.